Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, the Solar Impulse 2 is grounded in Hawaii, Navy pilot offered secrets to China, the Wright B flyer headed for Oshkosh. I'm Bree Cross. It is July 14th, 2015, and this is Airborne Unlimited. Flying around the world using batteries and solar power as its only fuel is, to say the least, an extreme technological challenge. Following the record-breaking oceanic flight of 5 days and 5 nights in the solar-powered airplane by André Borschberg, Solar Impulse will undergo maintenance repairs on the batteries. Despite having completed the longest and most difficult leg of the round-the-world solar flight, the solar-powered airplane has suffered battery damages due to overheating. The Solar Impulse team said in a news release that the damage to certain parts of the batteries is irreversible and will require repairs and replacements that will take several weeks to work through. In parallel, the Solar Impulse engineering team is looking at various options for better management of the cooling and heating process for very long flights. These repairs will take place in Hawaii. After starting in Abu Dhabi in early March, Solar Impulse has already completed 8 legs, covering approximately 11,200 miles thus far in its around-the-world journey. This report has the same tone as a script from a movie, but unfortunately none of this is made up. A former Navy pilot and Top Gun graduate who is in prison on 31 charges of producing child pornography apparently sought help from China to get him out of jail. USA Today reports Lieutenant Daniel Chase Harris, who was found guilty in March of multiple charges of producing child pornography, allegedly wrote a letter denying the charges, but saying that, quote, "My country that I have faithfully served since 2001 found me guilty of 31 felonies that I did not commit. And to make it worse, they took my wife and children away from me. So if they no longer believe in me, then I no longer believe in them," end quote. The letter was sent to the Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C. In it, the writer offers to pass along all knowledge of aircraft, radar systems, and weapons, as well as pilot training techniques, carrier operations, and threat assessments. Harris faces life in prison, and his attorney says he plans to appeal. After the break, the Wright B flyer will be at AirVenture for the first time.
Now certified, Aspen Avionics single-band ATSB, ATX100, and ATX100G transceivers are the next-gen ADSB solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, our website, or podcast, just email to news-spy@aero-news.net. Wright B Flyer Inc.'s one-of-a-kind airplane is ready to travel to the world's biggest general aviation fly-in by road. The slow-flying, open-air Wright biplane isn't designed for cross-country flights, so it was loaded into its custom semi-trailer last Saturday for the 490-mile journey to Oshkosh for AirVenture 2015. EAA has invited the Miamisburg-based nonprofit organization to exhibit and fly the airplane for the first time at AirVenture. 14 people turned out to help the nonprofit's volunteers. Loading the 3,400-pound airplane is a major challenge for the all-volunteer organization's core members, most of whom are in their 70s and 80s. Nicknamed the brown bird for its color, the large, primitive-looking biplane is a familiar sight in the sky at local air shows, parades, and other outdoor events. It's a modern look-alike of the Wright brothers' first factory-built airplane, the Wright Model B. Unlike the original wood and cotton Model Bs, the Brown Bird has a steel tube frame, a modern aircraft engine, and other modern materials and components. Every Tuesday, we're going to look ahead at some of the more interesting events in the aviation universe. Here's this week's Aero-Calendar. EAA AirVenture Oshkosh 2015 has to be at the top of our events calendar. It starts on Monday, July 20th, but the A&N crew is already there to get the ball rolling. Our gang actually starts reporting from Oshkosh before the official opening by presenting the AirVenture Innovation Preview on Saturday the 18th, which will give you a head start on aviation innovations at AirVenture this year. Here's an event we should have mentioned last week, but you haven't missed out because this one runs until August 6th. It's the 89th Academy of Model Aeronautics Championships, and it's the world's largest aero modeling competition in which pilots of all skill levels come together to compete against each other. Competition is being held in Muncie, Indiana, and Colorado Springs, Colorado. On July 17th through the 19th, you'll find the Heavy Bombers at Madison, Wisconsin during their Heavy Bombers weekend. Both the CAF and EAA will be flying in their Heavy Bombers the weekend before EAA AirVenture officially opens. The sound of the round engines will fill the sky. And if you happen to be on the other side of the pond during Oshkosh weekend, you can always attend the largest military air show in the world, known as the Royal International Air Tattoo. It starts on July 17th and runs through the 19th, and continues a tradition that started in 1971. It's an enormous event. Next week, we will see you at Oshkosh. After these messages, the last Prowler has landed.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, Navcom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. With a screaming growl, the last U.S. Navy EA-6B Prowler banked over the Point Mugu Naval Air Base last month before coming in for its final landing. The Navy's last Prowler will be demilitarized in preparation to become a display aircraft. As aerial agriculture pilots in Australia prepare for an early spring start to their busiest time of year, a new ATSB report highlights past aviation safety events in the industry. The statistics clearly identify a long-term trend in improving safety. The first XCOR Lynx Customer Day was held last month in Mojave, California. Directed by XCOR Space Expeditions, the experience included 41 guests from 14 countries and 5 continents, visiting XCOR in Mojave and attending XCOR events in Los Angeles. Teamsters Local 357 in Plainsfield, Indiana, has filed a lawsuit against Republic Airways. They say Republic unilaterally changed pilots' working conditions regarding open time flying without first agreeing with the union about those changes. The FAA has issued an STC to MT Propeller for the installation of its next-generation Quiet Fan Jet 5-blade Scimitar composite propeller on Piper Malibu and Mirage jet prop aircraft powered by the certain PT-6A engines. The new prop improves overall performance. Well, that's our trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. The countdown has started and our fuel tanks are being pressurized. That's another way to say that our A&N crew is operating at high pressure levels to assure we will deliver on our promise of presenting our AirVenture Innovation Preview this coming Saturday evening. The AirVenture Innovation Preview, known as the AIP, is something completely new and exciting at AirVenture this year. Aero-News Network and the EAA are working together to present the AIP program that allows product innovators to work with us to produce informational videos with our media staff. And while others are anticipating the excitement at Oshkosh, we are already there to get AIP up and running. Not only will you see the introduction of our AIP on the evening of Saturday, July 18th, the AIP programming doesn't end there. These professionally produced videos will be made available through many media channels so that AirVenture attendees and those not at AirVenture don't miss out on the innovations at AirVenture this year. Join with us on Saturday evening at www.oshcast.net, www.airbornetv.net, or www.eaa.org for the first ever broadcast of AirVenture Innovation Preview. We'll have more information regarding broadcast time later in the week. Well, that's our program for today. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday, with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. Please join us and a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news from the staff of the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource.